I'm glad you're taking time to improve your health, because what I'm about to explain could completely change the way you think about staying strong after 60. For years, many of us have believed that walking is the ultimate exercise for healthy aging. And while walking certainly has many benefits, recent research and years of clinical experience show that there is another simple movement that can provide even greater results for strength, balance, and long-term independence. Surprisingly, most older adults either overlook it or never include it in their routine. By the end of today's discussion, you'll understand why this one exercise has become a favorite among many rehabilitation specialists and movement professionals, how it supports your muscles, joints, heart, and brain, and why just a few minutes each day can make a meaningful difference in the way your body feels and performs. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you're joining us. This channel is dedicated to practical, science-based health and fitness guidance designed to help adults over 50 stay active, capable, and independent for years to come. And if you've been following along for a while, thank you for coming back. Your commitment to learning more about your health is something to be proud of. Today's topic is one of the most valuable conversations we can have about healthy aging. I encourage you to stay with me until the end, because I'm going to explain not only which exercise often outperforms walking for adults over 60, but also exactly how to perform it safely, how frequently to practice it, and how you can fit it into your daily routine even if you have knee discomfort, occasional back stiffness, or lower energy than you used to. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that even though you walk regularly, your legs still don't feel as strong as you'd like? Maybe getting up from a chair still feels difficult. Perhaps your balance isn't as steady as it once was, or climbing stairs leaves you more tired than expected. If that sounds familiar, you're certainly not alone. Many older adults faithfully go for walks every day, yet they continue to experience muscle weakness, poor posture, aching joints, and reduced endurance. The reason is actually quite simple. Walking is an excellent cardiovascular activity, but it repeatedly uses many of the same movement patterns without providing enough challenge to preserve and rebuild muscle as we grow older. After the age of 60, our bodies naturally begin losing muscle tissue through a process known as sarcopenia. Unless we regularly ask our muscles to work against resistance, that loss gradually continues. And muscle isn't only about physical appearance. Strong muscles help stabilize your joints, support healthy blood sugar levels, protect your bones, improve your posture, and give you the strength to move confidently through everyday life. There's another important point that many people never hear. One of the strongest indicators of whether someone will continue living independently through their 70s, 80s, and beyond isn't simply their weight, cholesterol numbers, or daily step count. Instead, it often comes down to lower body strength, balance, and how easily they can stand up from a seated position. That brings us to the movement I want to share with you today. It's called the chair squat. It may seem almost too simple to make a real difference, but don't underestimate it. Standing up from a chair and sitting back down with proper technique is one of the most effective functional exercises available for older adults. It activates some of the largest and most important muscle groups in your body, including the thighs, hips, glutes, abdominal muscles, and lower back. These are the exact muscles you rely on every single day whenever you walk across the room, climb a staircase, get out of bed, carry groceries, or recover your balance after a small stumble. Unlike walking, which gradually becomes easier as your body adapts, chair squats continue providing your muscles with a safe and appropriate challenge. That challenge is what encourages your body to maintain and build strength rather than simply repeating the same movement pattern. Think about it this way. Every time you rise from a chair, you're lifting nearly your entire body weight against gravity. That's a genuine strength exercise. When you walk, your body weight is shared differently throughout the movement because one foot is always supporting you on the ground. Walking remains excellent for overall health, but it doesn't train the muscles involved in standing, lifting, and stabilizing your body with the same level of demand. That's why it's entirely possible for someone to enjoy a daily walk yet still struggle when getting up from a soft couch or a low chair. It's not because they're inactive or unmotivated, it's because those specific muscles haven't been challenged enough in the way daily life requires. Now, if you're thinking, this sounds difficult, or my knees probably won't tolerate it, let me reassure you. When performed correctly, the chair squat is considered one of the safest functional strengthening exercises available. It's commonly recommended by physiotherapists and rehabilitation professionals because it closely matches the movements people perform every day while allowing complete control over the range of motion, speed, and level of difficulty. The chair behind you provides support and confidence throughout the movement, allowing you to work at a pace that feels comfortable for your current ability. Here's how to begin. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Keep your chest comfortably lifted, relax your shoulders, and look straight ahead rather than down. Lean your upper body forward slightly from your hips. Press firmly through your heels and slowly rise to a standing position. Take your time. Once you're standing, pause briefly while keeping your knees relaxed rather than locking them. Then gently bend at your hips and knees as you lower yourself back toward the chair with full control until you're seated again. That completes one repetition. If you need additional support at first, lightly use the chair's armrests or place your hands on your thighs. As your strength improves over time, you'll likely find you no longer need that assistance, allowing your leg and core muscles to do more of the work naturally. One of the reasons this movement receives so much attention in research is because studies consistently show that adults who can perform more sit-to-stand repetitions within 30 seconds often maintain greater independence, experience fewer falls, and enjoy better long-term mobility than those who struggle with the movement. In many ways, this simple functional test provides valuable insight into overall physical capability because it reflects the combined strength, coordination, balance, and endurance required for everyday living. And the benefits extend well beyond your legs. Every repetition asks your heart to pump a little harder, improves circulation throughout your body, increases oxygen delivery to working muscles, and supports a healthier metabolism. Over time, these adaptations contribute to better stamina, improved energy levels, and stronger overall cardiovascular fitness. At the same time, your muscles release natural signaling proteins during resistance-based exercise. These substances help support healthy inflammation levels, improve insulin sensitivity, encourage brain function, and contribute to better long-term health throughout the body. Walking certainly provides many valuable health benefits as well, but resistance-focused movements like chair squats often stimulate these protective responses even more effectively. That's why adding this single exercise to your weekly routine can become such an important investment in your future health. Let's continue by talking about something that becomes more important with every passing year after 60, and that's balance. Most people don't think about balance until they lose it. Unfortunately, a single fall can have life-changing consequences, sometimes leading to long recovery periods or even the loss of independence. The encouraging news is that balance isn't simply something you're born with. It's a skill your body can continue improving when it's challenged in the right way. Every time you slowly rise from a chair and carefully lower yourself back down, your muscles and nervous system work together to keep your body stable. Your brain constantly communicates with your legs, hips, feet, and core to maintain control throughout the movement. The more often you practice this pattern, the better those connections become. That's one reason this simple exercise is widely used in rehabilitation programs. It prepares your body for the same movements you perform every single day. Now you may be wondering, how many should I do? The answer doesn't have to be complicated. Start with whatever feels comfortable and safe for your current level. For some people, that may be 5 repetitions. Others may begin with 8, 10, or even 15. There's no prize for doing the most. The goal is to challenge your muscles without creating pain in your joints. If your muscles feel like they've worked, that's perfectly normal. Sharp or lingering joint pain, however, is a signal to stop and reassess your technique or speak with a healthcare professional. For most adults, practicing this movement once each day or 3 to 4 times each week is enough to begin seeing meaningful improvements. As your strength gradually increases, you can slowly add more repetitions or simply move at a slower pace, making your muscles work longer without adding unnecessary stress. One of the most rewarding parts of working with older adults is seeing how quickly the body can respond when given the right stimulus. I've seen individuals in their 70s and 80s who once needed both hands just to stand from a chair. After only a few weeks of practicing this movement consistently, they were standing more smoothly, walking with greater confidence, and completing everyday tasks with far less effort. The goal isn't to become an athlete. The goal is to preserve the freedom to live life on your own terms. Walking absolutely deserves a place in a healthy routine. It supports cardiovascular fitness, improves circulation, helps manage stress, and encourages regular movement throughout the day. Those benefits are valuable. But if walking is the only exercise you perform, you're leaving out one of the most important ingredients for healthy aging. That missing ingredient is strength. Without enough strength, every daily activity slowly becomes more demanding. Getting out of bed takes more effort. Climbing stairs becomes more tiring. Carrying groceries feels heavier. Recovering your balance after a small stumble becomes much harder. Maintaining muscle strength allows everything else to become easier. That's why adding chair squats alongside your walks creates a much more complete approach to long-term health. Of course, it's also important to be responsible. If you've recently had surgery, have severe arthritis, significant joint pain, or another medical condition that limits your movement, always discuss new exercises with your physician or physiotherapist before beginning. Your safety should always come first. Never force your body through sharp pain. There's an important difference between muscles working hard and joints signaling that something isn't right. Listen to those signals and adjust when needed. As we continue, I want to show you how to make this movement even more effective with a few simple variations you can safely perform at home. You'll also learn how combining chair squats with regular walking creates a balanced routine that supports strength, endurance, and mobility at the same time. The best part is that the entire routine can take as little as 5 minutes each day while producing noticeable improvements over the coming weeks. Before we move forward, if you're finding this information helpful, take just a moment to press the like button. It helps more people discover practical health advice that can truly improve their quality of life. And if you're interested in simple, science-based strategies for staying active, strong, and independent as you age, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Now, take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Release any tension in your neck. And remind yourself of something important. Your age doesn't determine what you're capable of. Your body is still designed to adapt. It can still become stronger. It can still improve its balance. It can still surprise you with what it's able to accomplish when you provide the right kind of movement consistently. Let's look a little deeper at why this happens. As we grow older, our bodies naturally experience gradual biological changes. Hormone levels slowly shift. Communication between nerves and muscles becomes slightly less efficient. Muscle fibers shrink when they aren't used regularly. These changes are completely normal. They're part of the aging process. But normal doesn't mean permanent. One of the most encouraging discoveries in modern exercise science is that older adults continue responding remarkably well to strength training. The process may happen a little more gradually than it did decades earlier, but the body never loses its ability to adapt. Each time you lower yourself into the chair with control and then stand back up, you're sending a clear message throughout your body. That message says these muscles are still needed. These movements are still important. Keep them strong. Your brain receives that signal. Your muscles receive that signal. And over time, your body responds by improving muscle quality, strengthening nerve connections, and helping your joints work together more efficiently. That's something walking alone simply can't accomplish to the same degree because it doesn't challenge those muscles with enough resistance. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and standing from your bed feeling steadier than you did a month ago. Picture yourself getting out of your favorite chair without needing to push off with both hands. Imagine climbing a flight of stairs while feeling more confident in every step. Those aren't unrealistic goals. They're exactly the kinds of improvements many people experience when they consistently build lower body strength in a safe and practical way. And that's why this simple chair movement deserves much more attention than it usually receives. One topic that deserves much more attention is the fear of falling. It's something many people experience but rarely talk about openly. After the age of 60, it's common to become more cautious with everyday movements. Some people avoid stairs. Others stop taking longer walks or become hesitant to go out alone because they're worried about losing their balance. The challenge is that when fear causes you to move less, your muscles gradually become weaker. As your muscles weaken, your balance declines even further. That reduced confidence often leads to even less movement, creating a cycle that's difficult to break. The good news is that functional strength exercises can help interrupt that cycle. Chair squats allow you to practice one of the most important movements in daily life inside a safe and controlled environment. You're repeatedly teaching your body how to rise from a seated position and lower yourself with confidence. Every repetition strengthens not only your muscles, but also your coordination and body awareness. As those abilities improve, confidence often grows naturally alongside them. Let's also talk about your joints, because many people assume strengthening exercises automatically place too much stress on the knees or hips. When chair squats are performed with slow, controlled movement, your muscles absorb much of the workload. That support reduces unnecessary pressure on your joints while helping them move through a healthy range of motion. Unlike activities involving jumping, sudden changes in direction, or repeated impact, this movement focuses on control rather than force. That's exactly why it's frequently recommended during rehabilitation and healthy aging programs. Now, perhaps you're listening and thinking, this sounds helpful, but my knees already ache, or my lower back has bothered me for years. Those concerns are completely understandable. Every person brings a different history to exercise. But having limitations today doesn't mean your future has to look the same. If your knees feel sensitive, simply reduce how far you lower yourself. Only move through a range that feels comfortable. If your back feels stiff, keep your chest lifted, engage your abdominal muscles gently, and move at a slower pace. If you've been inactive for a long time, begin with only 3 or 4 repetitions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with starting small. In fact, that's often the smartest place to begin. The biggest mistake people make is believing they have to do a lot before they'll see results. In reality, consistency is far more powerful than intensity. Doing 5 minutes of purposeful movement nearly every day will almost always produce better long-term progress than completing one exhausting workout every couple of weeks. Your body responds best to regular reminders that those muscles are still needed. Small efforts repeated consistently create lasting change. Another simple habit that can make this exercise even more effective is paying attention to your breathing. Many people unknowingly hold their breath during movements that require effort. Instead, try exhaling gently as you stand up. Then inhale slowly as you lower yourself back into the chair. This breathing rhythm helps stabilize your core muscles, supports your spine, and allows the movement to feel smoother and more controlled. It also helps many people avoid unnecessary tension in the neck and shoulders. One of the easiest ways to stay consistent is by connecting this exercise to something you already do every day. For example, perform your chair squats before breakfast each morning. Or complete a set while waiting for your coffee or tea to finish brewing. Maybe you do them during a commercial break while watching television. When exercise becomes attached to an existing habit, it requires much less mental effort to remember. Eventually, it simply becomes another normal part of your day. That's where lasting success begins. There's another benefit that often goes unnoticed, and it's just as important as physical strength. As we age, many people quietly begin limiting their lives. Without realizing it, they stop visiting certain places, avoid longer outings, or decline opportunities because everyday movement feels more difficult. Gradually, their world becomes a little smaller. Strength has a remarkable way of reversing that process. When your body feels stronger, your confidence usually grows with it. You become more willing to walk farther. You feel more comfortable traveling. You enjoy spending time with family and friends without worrying as much about keeping up. Physical improvements often create emotional improvements as well. The relationship between body and mind is incredibly powerful. Feeling capable physically often helps you feel more positive mentally. Now, once you've practiced chair squats consistently for a few weeks and they begin feeling easier, you don't necessarily need expensive equipment or heavy weights to continue progressing. One simple adjustment is to slow down the lowering portion of the movement. Instead of sitting down normally, lower yourself over 3 slow seconds. 1, 2, 3, then stand back up smoothly. That slower lowering phase increases the amount of work your muscles perform while remaining gentle on your joints. Another excellent progression is to pause briefly just before sitting down. Hover above the chair for 1 second. That tiny pause forces your leg and core muscles to remain active while improving control and stability. Small adjustments like these may seem insignificant, but over time they produce impressive improvements in strength, coordination, and confidence. Remember, progress rarely comes from dramatic changes. It comes from simple habits practiced with patience and consistency. Your body appreciates steady progress far more than occasional bursts of intense effort. Every repetition is another investment in your future mobility, independence, and quality of life. And that's exactly why this one movement continues to earn such strong support from rehabilitation professionals and movement specialists around the world. Now, let's bring walking back into the conversation, because I want to be very clear about something. Walking is still one of the healthiest habits you can have. It supports your heart, it improves circulation, it helps regulate blood sugar, it boosts your mood, it encourages healthy breathing, and it keeps you active throughout the day. None of those benefits disappear simply because we've introduced a better strength exercise. The key is understanding that walking and strength training are not competitors. They're partners. Think of walking as something that keeps your cardiovascular system healthy and your body moving. Then think of chair squats as the exercise that protects your muscles, your bones, and your ability to remain independent. When you combine the two, you're giving your body a much more complete foundation for healthy aging. Many people already enjoy a daily walk. That's an excellent habit to continue. Now imagine adding just a few chair squats before you head outside or immediately after you return home. That small addition can completely change the way your walks begin to feel over the next several weeks. You'll likely notice stronger steps, better stability, less fatigue, and greater confidence every time you move. These improvements don't happen because of luck. They happen because stronger muscles support every movement you make. I also want to remind you of something that many people need to hear. Your body isn't working against you. It hasn't given up on you. And it certainly hasn't forgotten how to become stronger. The human body is incredibly adaptable. Even later in life, it continues responding to positive movement. Every healthy choice sends a message. Every repetition tells your muscles they're still important. Every controlled movement tells your nervous system to stay sharp. Every day you practice, you're investing in a stronger version of yourself. That process doesn't stop simply because you've celebrated another birthday. If you've been feeling discouraged about your health lately, let me encourage you for a moment. Perhaps you've started exercising before, but struggled to stay consistent. Maybe discomfort caused you to quit. Perhaps life became busy. Or maybe you simply convinced yourself it was already too late. None of those experiences define what happens next. The only thing that truly matters is the decision you make today. And today's decision doesn't need to be dramatic. It doesn't require expensive equipment. It doesn't require a gym membership. It doesn't even require a full hour of exercise. It can begin with something as simple as standing up from a chair 5 careful times with good technique. Sometimes, the smallest actions create the biggest changes when they're repeated consistently. Real progress is rarely loud. It usually happens quietly. One healthy decision becomes another. One week becomes another. Then one day you suddenly realize you're moving more easily than you were only a month ago. As you continue practicing, don't expect every improvement to be obvious immediately. Your body often changes in subtle ways before larger differences become noticeable. You may realize you're walking through the grocery store without needing to stop as often. You may notice climbing stairs doesn't leave you quite as winded. Perhaps you no longer reach for furniture every time you stand up. Maybe getting into your car feels easier. Or maybe family members begin commenting that you're moving with more confidence. These are meaningful signs of progress. Don't overlook them. Celebrate every small improvement because each one represents your body adapting in the right direction. Small victories create lasting transformation. Now, once you've developed confidence with the basic chair squat, you can slowly build it into a short daily routine without making exercise feel overwhelming. The goal isn't to spend hours working out. The goal is to challenge the muscles that help you move through everyday life. For example, begin with 5 to 10 chair squats performed slowly and with full control. After that, stand behind the chair and lightly hold the backrest for support while practicing gentle heel raises. Lift your heels off the floor. Pause briefly. Then lower them slowly. This strengthens your calves and ankles, 2 areas that play a major role in balance and walking stability. Next, remain behind the chair and slowly lift one knee toward your waist. Lower it with control before repeating on the opposite side. This simple marching movement improves hip strength, coordination, and single leg stability, all of which become increasingly important as we age. Finally, finish by standing tall and gently shifting your weight from one foot to the other. There's no need to rush. These slow weight transfers teach your body how to stay balanced while moving naturally. Together, these 4 simple movements create a complete routine that takes only a few minutes but targets many of the muscles responsible for walking, climbing stairs, standing, and preventing falls. Another common mistake I see is people trying to move too quickly. They believe faster repetitions mean better results. In reality, slower movements are often much more effective. When you slow down, your muscles stay under tension longer. Your balance improves, your coordination improves, and your brain becomes more involved in controlling every part of the movement. Quality always matters more than speed. I'd much rather see you complete 5 perfect repetitions than 20 rushed ones. Good movement patterns build stronger bodies. Poor movement patterns simply reinforce bad habits. Always focus on smooth, controlled movement instead of rushing to finish. And here's something worth remembering. Every healthy routine starts exactly where you are today, not where you were 20 years ago, not where someone else is, only where you are right now. That's more than enough. Your journey is unique. Your progress is personal. and every consistent effort brings you one step closer to feeling stronger, safer, and more independent. As we bring today's discussion to a close, I want you to remember one important truth. Healthy aging isn't about finding one magical exercise. It's about choosing the right habits and practicing them consistently. Walking remains one of the best ways to care for your heart, improve circulation, and stay physically active. But when you combine walking with purposeful strength training, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to stay capable, confident, and independent for many years to come. The chair squat may look simple. It doesn't require expensive equipment. It doesn't demand athletic ability. And it certainly doesn't require hours of training. Yet this one movement strengthens the muscles that help you stand, walk, climb stairs, carry groceries, recover your balance, and continue enjoying the activities that matter most. That's why functional exercises like this deserve a permanent place in your weekly routine. They're not about building impressive muscles. They're about building a body that continues serving you well throughout every stage of life. If you've never practiced chair squats before, don't worry about perfection. Your first few repetitions don't have to look perfect. They simply need to be safe, controlled, and comfortable. Your body learns through repetition. Each day you practice, your muscles become a little stronger. Your balance becomes a little steadier. Your confidence grows one step at a time. Remember, lasting progress isn't measured by what happens in a single workout. It's measured by what happens after weeks and months of steady practice. Those small daily improvements eventually become meaningful changes that affect every part of your life. You'll likely notice simple everyday tasks becoming easier. Standing from the dinner table, walking across a parking lot, climbing the stairs at home, carrying shopping bags, getting in and out of the car, playing with your grandchildren, traveling with greater confidence. These ordinary moments become easier because you've invested in the strength that supports them. Another lesson I'd like you to take away today is that movement is one of the most powerful forms of medicine available to us. Your muscles don't simply help you move. They influence your metabolism. They support healthy blood sugar regulation. They improve circulation. They protect your bones. They contribute to better brain function. And they help maintain the independence that so many people value later in life. Every time you choose to move with purpose, you're supporting nearly every system throughout your body. That's why even a short 5-minute routine performed consistently can produce benefits that extend far beyond stronger legs. Now let's briefly review the key ideas we've covered today. Walking continues to be an excellent habit for cardiovascular health, mood, and general activity. But walking alone isn't enough to fully address the natural loss of muscle that occurs with aging. Adding functional strength exercises, especially chair squats, helps preserve muscle, improve balance, increase confidence, and reduce the risk of falls. Practice the movement slowly. Focus on quality rather than quantity. Begin with the number of repetitions that feels comfortable for you. Gradually progress as your strength improves. Listen to your body. And always prioritize safe, controlled movement over rushing through the exercise. When you combine these simple habits with consistency, your body has an incredible ability to adapt regardless of your age. Before we finish, I want to challenge you with something simple. Later today, find a sturdy chair. Stand up from it 5 slow times, using the technique we've discussed. Move carefully. Pay attention to your breathing. Notice how your muscles feel working together. Then repeat that tomorrow and the next day. You may be surprised how quickly those 5 repetitions begin feeling easier. That's your body responding. That's your strength returning. And that's exactly how long-term improvement begins. If you've enjoyed today's discussion and found it helpful, I truly appreciate your support. Take a moment to press the like button because it helps this information reach more people who may benefit from it. If you're interested in practical, evidence-based advice to help you stay strong, active, and independent after 50, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on notifications so you'll know whenever a new video is released. I also enjoy hearing about your experiences. Leave a comment below and tell me your age along with one health goal you're currently working toward. Maybe you're trying to improve your balance. Perhaps you're building strength. Maybe you're simply committed to walking more consistently. Whatever your goal may be, sharing it can encourage someone else who's beginning the same journey. And remember, every improvement starts with a single decision. Not a perfect decision, not a dramatic decision. Just one healthy choice repeated often enough that it becomes part of who you are. Don't compare yourself with where you were years ago. Don't compare yourself with someone else. Compare yourself only with the person you were yesterday. If you're slightly stronger today, if you're moving with a little more confidence, if you stood up one extra time without using your hands, you're already making meaningful progress. Your body is remarkably capable of adapting throughout life. Give it movement. Give it consistency. Give it patience. And in return, it will continue rewarding you with greater strength, improved mobility, better balance, and a higher quality of life. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take good care of yourself. Keep moving with purpose. Stay patient with the process. And I'll look forward to seeing you again in the next video.